Hello, my name is Dali, I'm your Danish deviant, and today I'm doing my first recent movie pickups video on this channel. So yes, I'm going to be showing most of the movies I bought these past few months, and I've gone a little crazy because this is around the time where I have my summer vacation, and I always like to buy a ton of movies for my summer vacation, so I have something to watch. And yeah, I went a little spending crazy. I also added in a couple of little older ones that I got a while ago that I just want to show off because, like, look at what I have, like a little douchebag that I am. And yeah, let's just start off with some of the more recent purchases. I got the steel case version of Psycho Gorman. This is a crazy sci-fi, fantasy, horror, comedy thing with some crazy practical effects. It's basically about this like super demon space god who has been buried on Earth and then like is awoken again back to life. But because this girl who is like a fucking mental case picks up this jewel that is able to control him, she has his power in her hand. And it is such a crazy bonkers movie. It uses a lot of practical effects. It's made by the same guys who made The Void and also the upcoming Deathstalker movie, which I'm also so excited for. I don't think it's gonna get to like cinemas in Denmark, but hopefully it's gonna get to streaming or like physical version very fast. And yeah, I watched this before, I rented it, and it's like amazeballs. I love this thing, so I just had to have the steel case version now finally, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this again. I also got a little movie box, the Ray Harryhausen special, what is it called? Special edition collection, where it includes a bunch of his movies. Like it came from Beneath the Sea, Earth vs. Flying Saucers, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, The Three Worlds of Gulliver, A Mysterious Island, Jason and the Argonauts, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. And like if you don't know who Ray Harryhausen is, he's like this special effects man who had he specialized in like stop motion clay figures. And if you've seen like these collecting of clips of like older movies where you see like these skeletons moving around or this big cyclops, it's from his movies. He's like, I mean, he's a legend, and these movies just has such a charm. I mean, they're older movies, so it's probably not going to be for like the younger generation unless you're like, I don't know, like me. Then that means you're a badass. By the way. I've only watched like a handful of these so far. I watched It Came From Beneath the Sea and The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and I watched another one, Earth vs. Flying Saucers. I also watched that, of course. But I'm still missing the other one, and I can't wait. They look bonkers, and I just love a good claymation effects in my movies, so what's not to love? I also did an unboxing of this on the channel, but I just want to show this off. Bloody Legend, the complete Cliff Trimlow collection. There you go. Only so far watched one of the movies. I know I'm a bit slow too, but I have so many other movies that I need to watch. Yeah, I watched the most famous one, Grievous Bodily Harm, and I was a bit surprised because it was kind of dull. Like it was been a video nasty in the UK, which means it was illegal to sell, I think. So I was kind of surprised with how tame it kind of was. I will admit, it was late at night. I was kind of nodding off here and there. So who knows? Maybe I just nodded off between all the boobs and violence. I don't know, which is a shame. But there's still a lot more movies in this box I need to get around to watch. So we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm also just gonna go through this stack really quick because this is like my new movie collection hack, if you're gonna say this, and that is simply by going into Spanish websites and buying a lot of Spanish Blu-ray movies, because these are a lot cheaper than the one that you buy from like Europe or the States. These cost like a half to a third of what the other ones cost, and so I went in there and I bought like a lot that I really wanted to see, but I probably didn't feel like paying as much for the Blu-ray. I'm just happy to have it. I don't care what version of it I have, if you know what I mean. And I got this one called Bad Moon. It's this werewolf movie. It's kind of okayish. It has really this great opening in the forest where you see this werewolf attack and it looks badass, and then it kind of slows down a bit. This is also one of those where when I watched it, I kind of nodded off a few times throughout it. I don't think it's bad. but it starts on such a high note, and it just has a little hard time coming back up there again. But yeah, I would love to rewatch this again because I slept through quite a bit of it. So it might be like there's a lot more excitement in it in the past that I slept through. I also bought this movie that is supposedly kind of bad. Let me just see what its original title is. Is it just La Mansion de Cthulhu? I think it is. Anyways, The House of Cthulhu. This was originally a different kind of movie, but then they just, because the Lovecraft became very popular, had like a rise in popularity back in, when was this from? 90s. They just slapped the name Cthulhu on it because they hoped to boost sales. So yeah, it has a different title also, but I cannot remember what that is. But yeah, it's supposedly like a trash movie, but I just got it because it was super cheap on the Spanish website. And that's another plus on the Spanish website. They often also include like English subtitles on the movies. So if I bought like an Asian movie or something like that, because as a European, if I want to buy like a cheap Blu-ray of some weird movie that had like limited release, my best bet is going to Germany and buy the movies there. But problem is the Germans usually only include like a German dub and a German subtitles. They don't include English subtitles. So if I'm buying an Asian movie, or if like a movie where the audio mixing is kind of bad and they're hard to understand, I don't really have any subtitles I can read. But the Spanish one include English subtitles almost all the time. Not all the time, but almost all the time. So that's cool. Also got Leviathan. I had actually watched this as a child, and I had like, let me just find the other one. Deep Star 6, I think this is the original title, yeah. I had watched these both as a child countless years ago, and I could just never remember which was which in my memory. I had like certain pictures in my head of some certain scenes, so I just happened to buy both of them and watch them. And yeah, they're really great. Especially Leviathan, I was actually surprised with how good it was. Like there was some scenes for that probably was the ones that stood out the most to me from my childhood. But Deep Star 6 is also just a good underwater horror movie flick. So yeah, both are great to get. And if you don't care about which version you get the Spanish version. They're super cheap. I also got Fortress with Christopher Lambert, another Stuart Gordon movie. I love Stuart Gordon's flicks. This is probably one of his weaker ones, if I can be brutally honest. And yeah, it's still kind of fun. Stuart Lambert plays this rebel soldier guy, I cannot remember, who gets locked up in this prison. And yeah, it's this sci-fi prison, and they're doing stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's bonkers. Again, not my favorite Stuart Gordon movie, but still kind of fun to watch, and I'm happy to have it. And I'm also kind of glad that I didn't spend like a lot of money on the non-Spanish version of this. I also got The Sword and the Sorcerer, I think this is called. Yes, The Sword and the Sorcerer on Blu-ray. Been meaning to watch this. I have a DVD of this, but the quality on that is just so damn poor that the one time when I put it on, I just gave up after a while. So I've been looking for a cheap version of a Blu-ray, maybe the 4K version, and this one popped up in the Spanish store. It was so damn cheap, and I just picked it up. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm kind of excited about it. Also because there's like a reference to this in the new Deathstalker trailer. I'm really excited for that movie, I don't know why. Where they have this like 3-bladed sword, which kind of originated from this movie. So yeah. And this one, I cannot remember what it's called, but it stars Peter Cushing. And it is called... Okay, I can't really see the original title on the back here. I think it's called something like The Mystery Island or something like that. I'm going to put it on the screen just to be safe. And this is a adventure movie. I only watched the trailer. I haven't watched the movies yet so far, but it looks bonkers. And I think we follow these like researchers who are going to this island where all the animals are big, giant, the bugs are giant, and there are these crazy tribes on it. And it's basically like them traversing this island. And it looks very, very fun, and I'm excited about it. They also have these old, nice, cheesy effects that I just love. So yeah, this is going to be a blast to watch whenever I get around to that. And I got Hardboiled, another movie I've been meaning to get on Blu-ray, but it was kind of expensive to get, at least from my position in the world. And then I saw it on a Spanish website again. It was dirt cheap. This is like an older John Woo movie where we follow a cop called Tequila. There's actually a video game also based on that cop, which is crazy. The Stranglehold, I think it's called. Kind of fun game, but not a whole lot of fun, but still kind of fun a little bit. And I've been meaning to get this one as well. It looks bonkers. These absolute crazy Asian action movies that are just completely over the top, and John Woo is just the master of over the top. Seen a lot of clips from this movie. I think there are other movies where we also follow Officer Tequila or Inspector Tequila. I cannot speak today. But yeah, this one is probably the most famous one. I've been meaning to get that, so here we have it. I also got a little movie box, the Fly Collection, with all the 5 Fly movies in. We have the original The Fly with Vincent Price, and the sequel that also stars Vincent Price, and then the third one which stars other people, I can't remember. And we have the remake with, what's his name, Jeffrey Goldblum. Why is that just Jeff Goldblum? Why was that name just missing? He's just an iconic. And the little loved sequel to the remake, which is actually pretty awesome. I have this on DVD. I've been meaning to upgrade this to Blu-ray, but getting this was kind of like close to what I would pay if I had bought like one of the other movies and this one on Blu-ray. So I'm very excited to get this movie box. Unfortunately, I think it was sold as new. I bought this on Amazon, but it looks like all the movies have like fallen out. I mean, dragged across the floor, which is such a shame. The same with the box. It looks kind of rough, in rough condition. Like if you look at the top there, which annoyed me a bit. But the movie plays, and you know what? Yeah, a few scratches and stuff like that. I can change the Blu-ray cases. I'm all bummed out about the like box. Like that is a shame. But oh well. There are a group of very awesome movies. I was surprised with how much I also really liked the original. I've never watched the original The Fly and its sequels until like I got this box, and they were like really fun and great. And I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to rewatch the Fly remake and watch the sequel to that in Blu-ray, because that is like surprisingly good, like much better than it deserves to be, in my opinion. I also got a TV series, Jack of All Trades, with Bruce Campbell. I love me some Bruce Campbell, and this show is absolutely amazing. I only recently started watching. There aren't that many episodes in it from me, right? It's all collected on 3 discs. So, and I think there's around like 8 episode-ish on all of them, maybe with the exception of the last one. And yeah, it's really fun. It's great. Bruce Campbell is Bruce Campbell. He's campy and funny, and the jokes. I just watched the episode where they get to the sex deviant SM island. Man, holy crap, that is such absolute fun. It's hard to express like how much I've enjoyed this series. It probably wouldn't work today, but for my old ass brain, it's just perfect. I love the humor. I love Bruce Campbell. Like even the worst lines and the worst stuff they can come up with just works when it's Bruce Campbell who says it. It's amazing. He's kind of like a magician in that way. So yeah, I'm very excited to watch all the other episodes, and I'm kind of bummed out that there wasn't more to this series, honestly, that this is all there is, this short little DVD box with like 3 discs on it. But oh well, still amazing we have it. I'm so happy to finally get around to watch this. Another show I've been meaning to watch for years. I also got the Street Trash Collection. There we go. Looks fucking amazing. And it includes the original Street Trash from 1987 and the reimagining movie that came out here, like I think it was 23 without being completely sure. And so far I only watched the original movie, and it's so crazy. But the transfer is beautiful. It looks very good on the Blu-ray. The audio is a bit bad in ways. It's like, but I think that's like something to do with the original mixing. People are a little hard to understand, and there are no subtitles, which is a bummer. I'm so excited to watch the remake from 2024, as I can see right here. I've seen trailers on it. It looks amazing. It's made by the same guy who made Fried Barry, which is also a movie that is gonna come up here in a bit. And again, that was another movie that just looked very excited about. And yeah, it's so fucking bonkers and crazy, and I kind of love it. At least the original one. As I said, I haven't watched the newest one. and it has everything. Like we had like 4 people who melted, and 1 guy who blew up, and 1 case of necrophilia, and a lot of beating, and a guy who used like a femur bone as a dagger. Like, what's not to love? It's completely such poor taste. It's not a movie you show on a first date. If you do it and she loves it, marry her like in an instant. She's a keeper then. I also got The Last Video Store, and this is just a really fun bonkers movie. I mean, it's about this girl whose father has died, and he had these rental movies, and one of them is like this old VHS that kind of looks like the Necronomicon from Evil Dead. And she takes it to this The Last Video Store, and the guy plays it, and everything goes crazy. Like these monsters from these like classic movies in their universe, it just comes to life and start going crazy in the video store. And then they get like help from the like this who is supposed to be this Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone kind of action hero guy who's there to help them. And yeah, it's really fun, super underrated. And all the bad effects are actually excused in this movie, because they kind of play around with the like, the movies that are coming to life are these cheesy horror flicks from the 80s. So when someone chops their head off and it looks like plastic, that's supposed to be like that. And the same with like the CG monster that's in there. They're like, oh, it looks so fake, but yeah, it's supposed to look like that because that's how it looked like in the 90s or whenever it was. It's supposed to be super fun. Like if you're a horror movie fan, you owe yourself to watch this. This is just like super fun. I really enjoyed this thing. Also finally got around to watch Soylent Green, another very classic, fun little movie. Yeah, it's about this like future world where food is very limited. So they have this like Soylent Green that people can get and eat, and yeah, this dystopian future world. It's actually a really good movie. It's been a while since I watched this, so I cannot remember all the details exactly. But we have some great acting, and of course the reveal at the end, which I'm not gonna spoil, even though it's like memed so much. So yeah, kind of fun movie, and I love this green steel case that came with the version that I got. It's really nice. I also got Demons on 4K. This is another amazing Italian-made horror movie. Demons are luring people into the cinema, I think, or like a movie is shown, and it turns people into demons. I can't remember the details exactly, but it goes completely crazy. And at the end of it, we have like a guy on a motorcycle driving through the cinema with a katana. And yeah, completely bonkers. I love this thing. It's been a while since I watched it, but yeah, really enjoyed this thing. And I'm happy to have it on 4K finally. I also got another Stuart Gordon movie, Space Truckers. Where have you been my entire life? This is like the stupidest sci-fi kind of little fantasy movie. And it's amazingly fun. I love the sets. I love the practical effects. It stars Charles Dance as this like creepy villain, and yeah, it's super bonkers. I cannot recommend this enough. It's probably starting to raise up there to be like one of my favorite Stuart Gordon movies. And I'm so happy to finally got around to owning this and watching this. Like, it's so good. I get almost giddy just holding this thing. Space Truckers, really recommend this thing. It is such a blast. And I also finally got a movie that has been like imprinted in my brain. I watched this as a child, could never remember the title, but just remember like the settings and the scenes. And now I finally have it on 4K, and it is Six String Samurai. And we kind of follow this guy who is, from what I can remember, I still haven't rewatched it yet. But from what I can remember, we follow this guy who's dressed up, this rockabilly dude who has a guitar on his back and a katana, and he goes through this post-apocalyptic world. It's kind of like Mad Max-ish. And he meets this boy. He has to help go from A to B, while this guy also has to go from A to B to like play a concert or something. And he fights these crazy Mad Max rejects, and super fun from what I can remember. And I'm really pumped to finally get to watch this. I was so excited when I actually like found the title of the movie, and it's like you hit one of those check marks from like mysteries from your childhood, like what was that movie? And I kind of like, yes, we have another one down. I also got Evil Dead Rise on 4K, and this is another one of those movies. When I bought it, it looks like it's been dragged on the floor for some reason. It was new, it's on foil, but it still looks like, why would people think this is okay to ship out to customers? I don't know. And I'm too nice of a bloke to like, or maybe too lazy of a bloke to like complain about it. And yeah, I watched this in the cinemas. I loved it. So excited to also get it on 4K. Now I have all the Evil Dead movies on 4K. I'd hope to get like the Steelcase version, but I think that's still a little too pricey. I love the movie. Can't wait for me to rewatch it again on 4K. Still haven't done that yet. But yeah, I went and watched it like I think 2 or 3 times in the cinema when they were playing it. Really enjoyed this, and I cannot wait for what else they have cooking. I think it's called Evil Dead Burn, if I remember right. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm a lover, sucker for anything Evil Dead. I also got a Nicolas Cage movie, Arcadian. I will also admit, like, I kind of fell asleep very fast in this when I watched it, so this not one another rewatch. Supposedly there are like monsters in there that are inspired by Goofy, you know, the Disney figure Goofy, and I never got to them. I think I saw like 20 minutes and then I just for the rest of the thing, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. So I need to watch this again. I want to see those Goofy monsters. I only see pictures of them online. I kind of want to see them in action. That could be very fun. And oh, I should also probably say, when I say I fall asleep to movies, it's because I'm an old asshole. It's not because the movie is like necessarily bad. It's just because I'm old, I'm tired, and yeah, that's about it. And also finally got to watch Death Becomes Her with Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep, and Goldie Hawn. And this was actually super fun. I've seen clips of this online. I also think it's one of those that I might have seen as a child, but just couldn't remember the title or movie of at all. But yeah, it's super fun. We follow like Bruce Willis, who is what do you call him, cosmetic surgeon, and he's married to this like kind of bookish plain girl, or he's about to get, but then he falls in love with this actress and he leaves his original wife, girlfriend, for her, and then like years later the original girlfriend comes back for revenge, and then they get like a potion that can like I'm explaining this so bad. It's super fun. Like, watch this thing. It's like super fun. Comedy fantasy they're called on the back, and that's probably very true. Yeah, Bruce Willis does a great job in this one. So does Meryl Streep, and also like they all do. Also, what's the face? Goldie Hawn. Oh boy, this was just depression in a bottle. Megan is missing. I'm tossing this fucking piece of shit, man. Yeah. I've heard people talk about this for years, how like it's like one of the most horrifying movies ever, and you know, I see it as a challenge. I want to watch that, but it's not as much horrifying as just extremely depressing, and like yeah, we see like the worst that can happen to like a young teenage girl. It's about like we follow these 2 friends. One of them is called Megan, and after chatting with a guy online, she went missing. And then the other girl who's kind of like she's a loud voice in the news about like where is Megan, and maybe that guy she was chatting with is the culprit. But then yeah, and then the other girl gets kidnapped, and like the most horrifying stuff you can imagine happened to her, and it's just like it's just super sad. It's like when I finished watching this, like I just felt like a hollow void within me, like. Why did I do this to myself? It's like, now I watch this, probably don't need to watch it again, ever. and now I own it. Yeah, super depressing, but they're kind of like low-hanging fruit depressing, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, let's just do this depraved stuff, and then we aren't going to do like, even if I'm judging this as a movie, like you could done so much more to make something horrifying and be a bit more creative with it. This felt like maybe a bit too realish, and that's also why I think this is terrifying in a way. But yeah, I don't know, I feel conflicted because it is rare when a movie just like gets you like, oh, I hated that. But still like, so I respect it, but I don't like it, if that makes sense. All the way over here, I also got a little DVD collection of Tales from the Crypt. I have been meaning to watch this show forever, and now I'm finally doing it. I haven't watched all of it yet, but I think I'm around like season 4 on this thing, and I was actually really surprised, both with like the quality of the episodes. A lot of them are very good, but also like that they are like for more adult audience. I don't know, when I was seeing clips of the Crypt Keeper, I thought there was going to be like these like goosebumps levels of scariness, like maybe a bit more than that, like an older teenager, but they are made for like adults. We see like boobs and a lot of blood and gore in these things, and I was not suspecting that. Also surprised with the amount of like very famous actors who has been a part of this. Like many of them are just bit parts, but I'm kind of like, there was Demi Moore who was in one. Tom Hanks was very shortly in one. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in an opening of with the Crypt Keeper. Whoopi Goldberg was also with one. I cannot speak. I'm so surprised with how many A-listers who has been a part of this thing. Brad Pitt was also in one like recently that I watched. Like, holy crap. I'm so excited to watch all the others to see who else is gonna pop up. That's almost like become my favorite part of watching this. Like, which celebrity is gonna be in this one? Like, I would say I think the quality is kind of like dropped a bit when I started on season 4. I think like the first 3 seasons they're very good. Season 4 is kind of dragging a bit for me. So I'm also excited to see like if season 5, 6, and 7 can kind of like pick it up again. But yeah. Now, since I got the collection here, I also had to get one of the movies, and that is Demon Knight. And I was actually surprised because I was certain I had watched this as a child. I had memory and was certain that this was the movie I watched. But looking back, that might have been Bordello of Blood that I watched. And Demon Knight is so freaking good. I don't get how good this is. I love it. We follow like this guy who is hiding in this old crabby motel thing. And a demon comes for him, and I'm butcherizing the story completely. And he has this like vial with blood from Jesus and other people that can kind of like keep them at bay. And Billy Zane, who plays like the head honcho of the demons, is trying to tempt the people inside to kind of let him in. And it's super fun. Billy Zane is amazing as the like a demon lord or whatever he is in this thing. Super fun. And of course the like beginning and the end with the Crypt Keeper. It's just so good. I don't know. Crypt Keeper is becoming one of my favorite horror characters ever, man. I also got this movie that I hadn't heard about until recently. And yeah, here it is. The Navigator, A Medieval Odyssey. And we follow these like villagers who are living in like, when is it? 1348, the year of the Black Death, and they're kind of like traveling to another city to like race or like make a cross that they can race to kind of help them prevent the Black Death from taking over, because those were the times apparently. But they make a wrong turn at Albuquerque and somehow end up in present days of like 1980 something. I think this is from. And then they just go from there. Like they still keep on the journey, but in present day, and they meet like these steelworkers who is going to help them make the cross that they can raise on the cathedral while they're like traversing this. Like it's not so much a fish out of water. It is a fish out of water story, but it's not. We don't have like this whole like makeover scene where they're going to try to dress up to look like the part. It is more like you have these guys from medieval days who are still trying to do the mission. But now they're just in the modern world, and there's like machinery and stuff that is scary to them and weird to them. I was really surprised with how good the soundtrack for this was. Really nice. I was actually looking around to see if I could find the soundtrack on vinyl or CD somewhere, because I really enjoyed the soundtrack. It's very haunting and beautiful at times. So yeah, really decent. I watched this for the soundtrack. The movie itself is okay, but the soundtrack is amazing. Ooh, another childhood favorite I finally got on Blu-ray, and it is The Elephant Man. Probably the most normal movie by David Lynch. And it will basically follow the like real life story of the Elephant Man, and what is his name? John Merrick, of course. And we follow him from when he gets discovered at a circus as a freak. And if you don't know, the Elephant Man has like a lot of deformities on his body, and was a circus freak. And this follows the story of him like being discovered there, and then living with this doctor who is studying his physiology. I'm spitting. I cannot say those words without spitting. And the doctor is played by Anthony Hopkins. And yeah, and he kind of like improves the life of the Elephant, because they when they first see him, they think he's just like an idiot, but like he's actually a very intelligent, sensitive guy. At least he's portrayed as that in the movie, and we kind of like follow his story in this, and it's really, really good. I watched this so many times as a child, and now I finally have it on Blu-ray. I cannot wait to rewatch this again. Wonderful little flick. Another TV series I got was C Nation. This over-the-top version of The Walking Dead. I mean, I watched this, and it's one of those series that takes a little while to get going. I feel like the first season, at least, it feels like it's trying to copy The Walking Dead a little too much, and then just later on, it just gets more and more and more bonkers. So yeah, if you're gonna watch this, give this thing a chance and get like past the first season and onto that, and you're gonna have like, if you're looking for something that is silly, zombie funness, this is your pick. There's still like moments of seriousness. There's still moments where like, I wouldn't say I almost cried, but I got like very angry because I thought they killed my favorite character off, and I was like so fucking angry, like oh boy. But yeah, this is a fun zombie little series, and I think you can find it on streaming maybe in your countries. I couldn't find it anymore. I've been dying to rewatch this thing. It used to be on Netflix, but then now it just isn't anymore. But who knows? It might be in your country, wherever you are in the world. And it wasn't even like super expensive, the Blu-ray collection of it, so why not just have it? Oh boy, this was another movie that people talked about how horrifying it was, and it is The Coffee Table. And I got like this special edition that was released by Second Sight, I think. Yes, Second Sight. And yeah, I've heard people talk about this a lot, and they say all the same, like go in blind, don't know anything, and I'm gonna say the same, go in blind. Even though I will say, like, with the title, and then like when you watch the first like scene of the movie, it is kind of easy to get the entire plot of the movie, or at least like the base stuff of it. And so going in blind is like kind of like, I still want you to go in blind, but yeah, I think most people will be able to guess what's gonna happen when they know this. Basically, like, this couple gets a coffee table, something horrible happens, and yeah. This is another one of those that people call like depression porn. Like, it's supposed to be really, really bad. I didn't think it was as bad as Megan is Missing, but even at times I kind of thought it was a little bit funny. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit funny at times, because a lot of it's also about like some hiding the horrible thing that happened. I should probably not go into much more detail about that. And you're just sitting there like a powder cake, like when it's gonna blow up, when are people gonna know when the horrible thing happened. And yeah, I think the acting is amazing. I think, and this gonna, if you know the story, it's gonna sound like me. I think they played it a little too safe, to be honest. Like, but yeah, I'm happy to have it, but it's not like, I don't think it is as good or as like horrible as people make it out to be. All right, I got a movie box as well, and it is the Puppet Master Collection. Been meaning to watch the Puppet Master movies for years, and they were always like super expensive if I could ever find them in Denmark on Blu-rays. Like if I bought like 3 of them on Blu-ray, it would have covered the entire cost of this box. So I got this on Amazon, and for a decent price, and I'm happy to have it. I say that I'm happy to have it, but they're just not that great. I mean, the first 3 or 4 of the, maybe even 5, I'd go as far to say, are kind of fun and enjoyable watch. Everything after, I haven't watched everything after, but everything so far I watched after is like very bad, extremely bad. really, really bad. There's especially the one they call Legacy, like Puppet Master the Legacy. That is almost an insult. Because, and I even read up about it because as I was watching this, because I thought like, it's nothing gonna happen. It's just basically a recap of all the previous movies. I even saw like all the new stuff they recorded in like a day. That is such a trash kind of movie to make. Like I think 90% of it is like just reused footage from the previous movies, and like it kind of got me thinking of Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, where like the first half of that movie is also just a recap, if not more than half of it. It's a recap of the original movie, but yeah. But this just feels worse in a way. I don't know why. Yeah. But I haven't gotten to the ones after Legacy, but I will get to that eventually. Hopefully they're gonna pick up a bit more. I doubt it, but I cross my little fingers. I also picked up this crazy movie, Slaughterhouse 5. So we follow this guy who's like mentally traveling through time, like who'd be like at a dinner party with his family as a middle-aged man, and suddenly he would be back in his 20s, like in World War II, and he would go from back to forth, like to being an old man, and then like back to a young man during the war and back to like a family man and back to an old man, and we kind of like follow the story throughout that, and it's an interesting watch, I will say. We have some decent acting as well and like some fun characters, and he even like ends up on a different planet, and yeah, so if you can find it cheap, I will say give it a watch. It's not one of those where I would like go out and pay a huge buck for. So yeah, this is one of those where I definitely recommend to watch it, but maybe don't like spend all your money trying to watch this thing. Still super fun. I know there are some people who love this thing to death, and it is very interesting, I will say. And I also got a used German version of Caveat, and this is this indie horror flick that just caught me off guard. Like I watched it years ago, I rented it, and I really liked it, and it's very clear that the budget is like next to nothing. Like I think if you put the entire budget, I could have it like between a couple of fingers in bills. Probably even that, I would say. But they still do so much with it, and they pour up a lot of tension. There's like a lot of tense moments in this thing, and the acting is okay-ish, I will say. There are some story elements that are like I would probably change for the future, like if they ever have to remake this. It's basically like this guy who like has lost his memory, who meets up with a friend who asks him to watch over his niece, I think it is. And while he's watching over her on this like deserted island where there's a house which is already a wreck flat. And when they got there, he wants him to like hook up to like a vest with a chain on, so he can like roam free around the house because of the niece's safety. And this is like grown ass niece, like and just the fact that he accepts that is just so bonkers. I don't care how fucked up I am, I would never accept being like on a deserted island, chained to a wall in this house with someone that I technically don't know. Yeah, but still, that aside, I still think they do like a lot of great job. They do a lot of tension with that, like how he has to move around with the house with that chain on. Eventually he gets free of it, and it opens up a bit more, and there's still like a lot of great scenes for this. I think there is a very potentially a great filmmaker here, and I cannot wait to see some more of his stuff. I also got a copy of the re-release version of Dragon Slayer. I love a good oldie fantasy movie, and this steel case is kind of like cool. If I can just get it out of the damn box. There we go, look at that. Very neat. I haven't watched it yet, as I said, and I'm very excited to get around to that. And yeah, I guess there's not much more to say. I've seen clips online. I love the old practical effects, and it's weird because I hadn't really heard about this until like maybe a year or two ago. And I feel like, why are more people not talking about this? It looks amazing from what I can see online, on clips at least. Now I haven't watched it yet, so who knows? Who knows? So I just had to close the window. They're using a drone to power wash the roof of one of my neighbors. And it was making an awful lot of noise. Anyways, let's keep going with the movies. I also got Going Postal, a little collection of a 2-part TV series, even though each part of the series is like 90 minutes or something like that. And yeah, this is based off a Terry Pratchett book. They have done this before with The Hogfather and The Color of Space. And I love those movie collection TV series, call it what you will. So I was very excited to get this one as well. It's probably the weaker of them all, but I still very much enjoyed it. We have David Suchet, played like Hercule Poirot as the villain, and he's like so over the top and fun, and Charles Dance as like, I want to say also a villain, but maybe not the main villain per se. And who else we got? Like the main guy, what's his name? Oh, Richard Coyle, yeah. I only know him basically from Grabbers, which is also a fun movie. It's about this conman who gets pardoned from his death sentence, but only if he like take up as the local postmaster of this post office that has been like abandoned for a while, and they are like competing against like their version of the internet, which is like these big masts with like where people can Morse code messages in throughout the world. And yeah, and this fun because the guy is a con man, and you see him like uses his con skill to kind of like make it work for him. And there's even like a time where he's like convinced he is conning people by providing them a great service of the post office. Like, it's kind of fun. And yeah, I cannot wait to watch this. As I said, it's pretty decent, but I'm probably more excited for the book, to be honest, even though these movie things they made so far are very faithful to the books, so who knows. I also got Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer, another little movie that I hadn't heard about until recently, and I just had to have it. And yeah, it's kind of fun. Rutger Hauer plays this Vietnam War vet who gets blinded during the war, and then he gets trained to like use a sword as good as anything. And then like a kid of a war body gets kidnapped, and then he goes out to like no, they want to kidnap it, but he then protects him and tries to take him to his father and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a fun little movie. It's like one of those like popcorn flicks. You just put it on and watch. I mean, Rutger Hauer does a great job, and the relationship between him and the kid is kind of like endearing at times. Like mostly the kid is just super annoying, let's be honest. But the relationship improves over time, and that can be kind of fun to watch. Ooh, I've also wanted this for a while, and I haven't watched it yet. And that is Ice Pirates, a fantasy sci-fi flick about these like pirates. I'm actually not even like 100% sure what it's about. I saw already Letter Media talk about this like years ago, perhaps, or maybe a year ago, maybe. And it just looks super, super fun. Strong injury detail and sex. They warn about that on the back, so you know that's just up my alley. Oh boy. So yeah, and what's not to love with a title like Ice Pirates? Like it has to be fun. I also got Fried Barry, as I mentioned earlier, made by the same guy who also made the remake of Street Trash. And this is a Shudder original. We don't have Shudder in Denmark, and please come to Denmark, Shudder. And I've seen clips from this. It looks so fucking trippy, and I love trippy horror movies, so I have to have this one as well. An insane fevered tour of life on Earth. I love that. And also I love from what I can see on the trailer again and clips I've seen online, the use of color is just bonkers, and I love like my colorful horror movies. So yeah, I don't even know if this is like hardcore horror, or if this is more like sci-fi, but oh well. Excited to get around to watch this eventually. And I also got this little special version here of Doctor Who and the Daleks. And I've been meaning for so long to get into Doctor Who. Like, the series seems bonkers and crazy, and it's hard to know where to start. I tried to watch the original series online, the old one with the first Doctor, and it seems like it just starts off somewhere, like after an event. And from what I can read online, it's after one of the movies, and I think this might be the movie in question. The characters has changed actors. But I think Doctor Who was originally placed by Dr. Cushing, unless there's like an older version. Like, I'm always surprised whenever I hear about how old the Doctor Who franchise is. Like, yeah, it looks super fun. It kind of has that same campy, fun sci-fi-ness that Star Trek has. And I need like a Star Trek itch now that I'm caught up with pretty much all Star Trek there is. So Doctor Who is next on that list. And I also got this one. They finally re-released this on Blu-ray, and it is Vampire Hunter D, the original Vampire Hunter D anime movie thingamajig. Now, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust was another movie based on the Vampire Hunter D guy that was released in the 90s. And that's like one of my favorite anime movies. I'm not a big anime guy, but that's like one of my favorite anime movies. You can like take that movie, pause at any point, and it's like a beautiful work of art. Really, really love this. This is an older one from I think it's from the 80s or 70s. Around there. Still very fun. We follow the Vampire Hunter D, who is like a vampire hunter, Daw, and his name is Daw again. And yeah, and his journey to like I watched this once many years ago, never owned this. I kind of really remember a story about this, but it basically follow his story, like where he has to like save people and hunt monsters and vampires, and yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to finally rewatch this again. And now I got these two things that I've been chasing for a while. Like these were my like chase pieces for quite a bit, and they just suddenly popped up on a Danish website, brand new in plastic, for like half of what I've seen them go for other places. And it is The Whisper in Darkness and Call of Cthulhu. Some really low print run kind of movies. The Call of Cthulhu is like made in 2000 and I want to say 5 or 15. Either 5 or 15, I can't remember. It's made in the same style as a 1920s silent movie kind of thing, where they kind of use a lot of the effects, like try to make it look like they're using the effects of that time. And it is quite fun, actually. The DVD has kind of been hard to find for a while, and I'm just happy to finally have this. I also got the same with the Whisper in Darkness. There's also a DVD version of this, but I got the Blu-ray version, and it's also like based off Lovecraft story. Now it's been a while since I watched it, so I might misremember the details, but this guy has to go out to like this faraway place because there's been a picture captured of an alien maybe, and the alien only shows up if you use like a certain kind of like lens to watch the picture with, and then the guy has to go out there and kind of like disprove the fact that there's this alien, and then he gets caught up with all the things that's happening there, like this cult and weird creatures, and it is super fun. Really recommend this one as well, if I remember right. As I said, it's been a while since I watched this, and I'm so happy to have these two in my collection. These were like chase pieces for a while, and yeah, really happy to have these things. And there we have it. This is my recent movie pickups, and my god, there's quite a lot here. And I haven't even watched all of them yet, so I still have a lot of movies to get through, which is a good thing, I guess. My vacation isn't over as I'm shooting this right now, so that's also very nice. I still have time to get around to watch some of this. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done a video like this, and I'm sorry if I'm babbling a bit during the video. I feel like I haven't done that many videos this year, so my English skills have been a bit rusty as of late. My tongue is tying around itself quite a lot, but oh well. But hopefully I'll get around to making more videos very soon, and hopefully you guys will tune in when that happens. And thank you guys for watching. If you stuck through the entire video, you are fucking amazing. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day.